Hi, I'm MarzGurl.
I'm JoshKnightTheFirst.
And welcome to episode 130 of MokkoriPlay, the only podcast dedicated solely to all things City Hunter.
On today's podcast, we're going to cover Season 3, Episode 13 of City Hunter, titled Goodbye City, A Farewell Gift, Part 2.
Last week, I said that was episode 12, and that was wrong, which shows you we'd been off our game for a long time.
The important thing is, we're back.
And we fixed it now.
Yes.
So this is, in fact, episode 13. This is the last episode of City Hunter 3. It only took us
9 months.
3/4 of a year to actually get... Here we are! We did it!
We finally made it. We're here now, guys.
We done did the thing.
Yes. But it was kind of a Tsukasa Hojo Sunday here in the house, because before we started, we are trying to keep up with the new Cat's Eye anime that's airing now.
Yeah, it's on Hulu, Disney Plus, whatever, wherever it is that you are watching. I don't care where you're watching.
I really don't. The dub's okay. We're watching the dub.
Yeah, the dub's fine. Cat's Eye just sort of is what it is, you know. Hojo, I feel like, was kind of cutting his teeth on really doing his own manga, and I don't know if he totally had a fully fleshed out world planned when he originally did Cat's Eye, and I think he only really fully developed a really big, expansive world by the time he got to City Hunter, and we kind of said something along those lines last episode, too, right? It still kind of feels that way in the anime, even in a second run.
Yeah, only 2 episodes in, like, I feel like they're jumping a lot of stories ahead in what they could be covering, because they've gone from, like, one story at the beginning of this omnibus that we just covered last episode to a story at almost damn near the end of the omnibus in this volume that they've released. And it's like, wow, we've jumped all the stuff in between, and for some people, you might feel like you didn't miss anything.
Well, I guess to be fair, I feel like the manga just has a whole bunch of thievery stories, and you don't really know why they do them for, like, a long time. So you don't necessarily need to see them do every single steal.
Every single theft.
Yeah. You don't need to see them do each and every one to finally get the idea that, oh, they're stealing for a reason, and there's a guy that's helping them do the stealing. Like, the manga takes way too long to get there, because I don't think Tsukasa Hojo totally knew what his plan was right at the beginning, if I'm to be honest with you. So I feel like, actually, this anime has jumped, like, straight into, no, we need to get to the point.
We're getting to the narrative quicker.
Yeah.
Which I was actually going to say, that's a point in its favor.
It is a point in its favor, yeah. But it is, I would still say, just because of based on what Cat's Eye is in the first place to begin with, I don't know, it's not a super meaty anime, but, you know, I like it just fine. But there's a reason why this is a City Hunter podcast and not a Cat's Eye podcast, you know? We'll talk about it because
even
we're related.
Yeah, we cross over between the two. We had those characters showing up in several different movies, and to that end, because, like we said before, when the project was originally announced, we didn't see that coming, that anybody was asking for this, so that makes us a little bit hopeful that eventually this will lead to maybe a new City Hunter anime that could either continue off where the movies are taking off from, the same storyline, or if we just want to start over again, because it's been like 40 years.
It would be nice if what they did was, you know, we just finished, within the last couple of years, we had that Angel Dust movie, right? What if their decision is not a sequel movie, but an anime series that finishes out the rest of the manga that the TV series never finished, and they finally put out that season that, like, wraps it up or whatever? Inuyasha got that, you know?
With Yashahime.
Is that what Bleach did with that final season,
well, I mean,
or was that its own thing?
1,000 Year War is still going, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
But I got off the Bleach train a long time ago, so...
All I'm saying
I'm not the right person to ask about that.
There's definitely a history of an anime that, like, comes back because the anime ended before the manga did, and then a decade or more later, that anime comes back and, like, finishes up that story. Like, that's happened a couple of times.
Like, some people decide, no, we gotta finish it.
Right.
So we're hoping that's what happens. We're hoping for a lot of things. We're hoping for that, either another movie announced, a sequel to the Netflix live-action movie. Hell, I will take a sequel to Mr. Mumble at this point. Just something.
For right now, we kind of talked about it in the last episode, but all all we've got to look forward to at the moment is that re-release of the PC Engine game, which is great. At the moment, though, I don't think we talked about this. We were talking about pre-orders between ourselves, and like pre-orders seem to only be up in other countries, especially for the collector's editions. And yeah, we're in a bad spot in America right now, and I don't know if we're gonna get a hold of those collector's editions, because if we order it, they're gonna stack another like $300 on top of that or some shit.
And that would be ass.
I would not do that. I guess we'll just get a digital copy at that point, which is not what I want to do, but
like I
okay.
will support this thing.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm here to do. But if we have that option, we've said this multiple times, we prefer a steelbook.
Yeah, I want that steelbook real bad. But again, they're only selling that steelbook through the UK storefront of that distributor. That's literally the only place they're selling it right now.
Right.
So there's nothing I can do about it.
So
and they're not shipping to the US either.
Right. So short of some nice company or website deciding to eat tariffs, which I know some places are doing that for certain items, for certain things. Fingers crossed here. Or we just get rid of those. That would be nice.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to talk to you guys about a digital release once that hits.
Which we'll get there. That'll be next year. So keep your ears open. We'll be talking about it when it gets here.
Yes, but in the meantime, we're going to talk about this last episode of City Hunter 3.
So this was a two-parter.
So we'll have to catch you guys up because the episode does that to us.
Yeah, we're going to recap you guys for a second. So what happened in this last episode?
So we met Sophie Silverman, a woman from the US who has ties to our dearly departed Robert, who we only care so much about Robert because he's not actually the character he should be.
Right, because he's a kind of a knockoff of Mick Angel from the manga. I don't know why we bothered to change his name. They're basically the same character. But fine, guy is dead because in a previous season they got into a duel and it was a gentlemanly duel. Ryo won.
Because Robert kind of sort of threw the fight because he changed the weight on his gun.
So Robert died, and like they both agreed to this, so nobody was really mad about it. But this lady sure does not seem to understand that.
And now Ryo is at gunpoint.
We're on episode 13 now,
yes.
By the way. Sophie is pointing a gun at Ryo. She's real mad about her old boyfriend who is dead, and she's gonna tell us about it.
And Ryo's like, no, it's okay, you don't have to tell me. I knew. And she's like, how did you know? And he's like, duh, you won't take your eyes off that damn gun, and it belonged to him.
Also, like, you're using your real name? Like, what the hell? You say that you're an agent of this agency, like you operate this agency. There is no operator by that name, but there is a sweeper by your name, and you think I don't know the names of sweepers?
And see, here's the crazy thing, like, her sweeper name, it's two parts. It's her name that she's been giving, Sophie Silverman, but then she has an alias, like how Umibozu is also Falcon.
Yeah.
And Ryo is also City Hunter.
Yeah.
So Sophie here is also known in the underworld as the Silver Panther.
So you kept the silver part, and you didn't didn't differentiate that from your real name. Like, you're so bad at this.
Like, those are the worst nicknames where you can just source it back to your own name.
Yeah.
That's dumb. Why would you do that?
I do like that she's got this whole flashback that she wanted to tell Ryo about. And she was like, oh, and Robert, my boyfriend, he died, and you killed him.
Yeah, what's funny is she's talking to him about all this stuff. So, like, I guess were in a relationship fairly recently within the world of City Hunter, right?
Right.
And the last conversation they had before the events of that episode when Robert showed up for the duel and all that, they had this conversation on the docks, which was just filled with red flags. Like, I'm thinking of that scene in Hot Shots where John Cryer's character is just doing nothing but red flags.
Yeah.
Like, I've solved the Kennedy assassination, but I'll tell you when I get back, baby. Oh, I don't need to sign that insurance paper. Same thing here, like, Sophie, do you want to marry me?
When I get back from my last job, that will be the last job, and we will get married, and I will take up a normal job, like, I don't know, teaching lessons at a gun range or something. And she's like, oh, you better not die on me.
Like, well, funny that.
So she's talking about how, oh yeah, and then he didn't come back, and then I saw the body, they put the body on the plane, like, he had an open casket funeral going up the ramp of the plane.
Well, no, she got to look at the body when they got it off the plane.
Which, by the way, is Sunrise Airlines, which is great. It's a good callback. That's a good one. But then
Kaylin, I have to get this in before, because this is is the last episode of the season. Nothing beats a Sunrise Airlines holiday.
I guess not. You put a dead body on this plane. That's pretty perfect.
But the funny part is, when we go to the gravesite...
Because they bury him back in America, and yeah, the animators focus on his headstone, right?
Yeah, so we figure out he's only like 33 years old. So, okay, that tracks compared to how old we assume Rio is.
But Josh, what's his name again?
Well, as far as I was aware, his name was Robert. But I was wrong.
Apparently, we were both wrong.
We were both wrong.
In fact, his girlfriend, I guess, fiance, really, she was also wrong. She didn't even know her boyfriend's name because, according to the gravestone, his name was ROBART.
ROBART. ROBART. ROBART.
Well, my son is also named ROBART.
And like, we always take a long time doing these notes anyway to get ready for these podcasts, but we were laughing for a good 2 minutes straight at ROBART.
Oh, we had to pause it. Yeah, just...
That made me laugh from a healthy place.
And every time I looked back up, I started laughing again. What do you mean his name is ROBART?
Bart and ROBART. Oh, that was a good one.
Good times. Anyway, she's real mad, and she's pointing a gun at Rio, and she's like, fight me. And he's like, no, I won't shoot a woman, no.
And he's like, hey, wait, so those two guys that have been chasing us, did you just send those guys here just to get me into this position?
And she's like, actually, no, they're coming after me because ROBART gave me some microfilm. You know what? This thing doesn't even fucking matter, honestly.
No,
like,
it's real dumb. So, like, we're told that ROBART, we're not going back to Robert, because, one, he's already supposed to be Mick Angel, and you tell me he's Robert, but then you tell me his name is also ROBART? No, we're sticking with ROBART. It's the last episode.
It's definitely anytime we ever have to reference this guy ever again,
it's ROBART.
It's ROBART.
It's ROBART from 2005 till infinity. That's how we're doing it. So ROBART was apparently was doing this job to go do that episode to fight with Rio. He was doing this job for a company called the Guinness Corporation. Where
sure, okay.
We kind of had to piece together the head of this corporation is a guy by the name of Guinness.
And he named it after himself.
Okay, fine. Get that out of the way now. And he told them he didn't want to do the job. He was trying to get out of the job, so he steals this microfilm about something. They weren't very clear about it. Something having to do with the VIP assassination list or something like that.
It wasn't even a list. It was just a VIP assassination, and I'm going, of who? Well, we'll never find out. And she's like, oh, it was supposed to be meant to protect me so that they would never have a reason to come after me. Well, I guess they didn't care about that. And I'm sitting here going, that was a really stupid plan.
Right.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, because like, you were trying to be like, well, I want to save my fiance, so I'm going to steal this microfilm. Hey, if you hurt her, I'm going to destroy the microfilm kind of thing. But then they were like, nah, screw that. We're just going to hurt both of you and take the microfilm back.
We're not given a reason to believe that she was ever in danger from them in the first place.
Or that the plan was ever going to work. Yeah,
we are not given enough information.
ROBART didn't think this thing through.
He fucked up. He really left her in fucking peril.
Yeah.
Just, what a fuck up of a dude, ROBART.
So, yeah, she's still in her feelings right now, right?
Yeah.
So she's like, come on, let's go, duel. He's like, nah. No, fight me. No, I don't point guns at women. I'm not going to do that.
And she's like, well, I point guns at men. Blam, blam. Gets him one in the shoulder and one in the leg. So he bleeding. And then Calories like, oh no, you're bleeding.
And she's trying to be like, Sophie, can't you see he's hurt? Help him. And then she points the gun at her and she's like, what? Like, Cowdy's kind of slow on the uptake here.
Yeah.
And mind you, I don't know that we clocked this last time we talked about it, but she is so dressed like Amuro from the first episode of
like
Mobile
2
Suit
episodes
Gundam.
of Gundam, yeah. It's really the same color coding, honestly.
But it is sunrise, so...
Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
So now Sophie's saying, all right, you're not going to fight me? I'm going to take Cowdy hostage for a whole ass week. You think about what you haven't done and what you did do to my fiance, and then we're going to duel at this base in a week. Okay, bye.
Which is really stupid, giving Rio prep time. Although, honestly, Rio didn't do much prep, aside from, like, maybe letting his wounds kind of heal up a little bit.
But they don't really heal up all that well.
And he actually spent a week being kind of sad. Because she said, oh, I'm going to take the person that you love. And, like, he didn't respond to that other than having a very pensive face of, oh no. His face was very concerned, like, actually I do love her, I'm not gonna say that out loud, but like he just kind of, I don't know, he's done a better job than this before.
And it's like, Cowdy's trying to argue with Sophie, like, no, you can't leave him there, he's gonna die from those wounds, and she's like, no, I know where I shot him, he's good. And it's like, yeah, but you still shot him pretty close range. Like, that's gonna hurt. Which, mind you, we have to believe this hurt him as opposed to, like, episode 1.
Where he shot through his own hand.
And that was fine.
It was fine because it was a Full Metal Jacket bullet, Josh.
And it shot past the bones.
Yeah, you know how easy it is to go through the bones of your hand. I mean, when I feel my own hand, I feel a huge gaping space large enough for a bullet.
Yeah,
to just
I know.
Go straight through the... God.
I mean, just thank God she didn't shoot him in the stomach bones. That never would have healed up.
That's actually kind of true, though. That would be a really bad place.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit in your stomach bones. Go get checked if your stomach bones hurt. So for whatever reason, we go back to the apartment, and Sayako is there to try and tell Ryo supposedly some good news. And she's like, well, he's not home. Guess I'll tell him later. And as she's leaving out of the apartment, she's already up there on, what is it, the 3rd or 4th floor.
Because she can just come in, I guess. Maybe she's got a key because, like, she's a police officer, and Ryo sometimes wants to hit that anyway.
Yeah.
So he does, in a way, hit that in a second as he comes through the door, and he just sort of falls over into her arms because he's just been shot 2 times.
And he's lost a lot of blood.
And he needs a hug.
So he's been shot 2 times. He need a hug.
He need a hug.
And he's like, are you here to pay back the Mokkori? I'll be right with you. And she's like, what happened?
So this episode, like, everybody shows up, I guess, for not really a good reason.
So, like, we were complaining at the beginning, or even last week, like, we've gone 12 episodes, we haven't heard anything from Reika, right?
Yeah, I almost forgot she existed, which it doesn't help that, like, we've been off air for, like, the majority of the year.
Yeah, but so also, like...
Oh, Reika, you're here. Oh, also, Miki, you're also here. Oh.
But the thing is, we've seen Miki. We've seen Miki, we've seen
Miki.
Sayako, we've seen Kasumi, of all people, because they decided to keep her around rather than giving Reika something to do.
And I want to remind you, I'm fairly positive Sayako has one other sister in the manga.
She does?
Yeah.
How am I just now hearing about this?
I've told you about this before and you freaked out. It's in the Takarazuka stage play, too. She's got, like, a whole 3rd sister that, like, we just kind of don't even hardly talk about.
Wait, so she has 2 more sisters? So you said 3rd sister.
She is the 3rd of these sisters.
Okay, so she has 2 other sisters.
She has 2 sisters.
Okay.
There's a 3rd girl in this family.
Okay, so she has a 2nd sister.
Yes.
That's what you're trying to say.
This is the 3rd of the sisters.
Just say she has a 2nd sister.
There's 3 women.
God, what are you doing?
Anyway, the anime never puts her in there, which is fine because we have too many women at this point. There's too many of them, and they don't have enough to do. It's already, like, as we were reading the Kana published manga, right? Early on in City Hunter, you might remember the episode where there was the girl who's basically a Yakuza princess, and she joined, like, a biker gang or whatever.
Yeah.
Boyfriend was part of the biker gang. And in the manga, like, she stays around for a while. Like, they try to get her to be, like, an additional...
cast member.
As she kind of doesn't stick around. Thank God. So the anime, like, cut that shit out real fast. We needed to, like, trim some of these women out of
Trim
this
the fat.
Yeah. So we're lucky we got this. But even so, like, everybody's here. And I'm like, well, did they need to be in this episode? They're all here. They're all here.
I mean, I guess I'll give it as much as it's been a while since Ryo's been shot. And he has, in fact, lost a lot of blood, and there actually are consequences this time. So yeah, everybody's at the apartment. Umibozu's the one patching him up because they're buddies.
Yeah, even though they'll never admit it.
And he, like, patches him up. They're filling in everybody, like, hey, so Umibozu, did you know Sophie was, like Robert was hitting that? Did you know that? No. Okay, well, now you do. Damn. Like, it's kind of
conversation.
Like, yeah, that's most of the conversation there. Meanwhile, 2 other conversations are happening at the same time. Guinness in New York City.
And we get this big old establishing shot of New York City. 2 towers and all, and the Statue of Liberty. It's all there. All of it's there.
The Chrysler Building, I think we saw that too.
Yeah, the Empire State Building is back there.
And, like, this dude, who, again, we had to deduce his name was Guinness, because they don't actually call him that until the very end.
This is an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah, this dude's like, if Tom Selleck started melting in the sun, is what I'm telling you. He's talking to somebody on the phone. I think it's that Serrano guy who's been watching them, following them this whole time.
Oh, yeah, the cilantro guy. Got it.
Right. And he's telling him, Guinness is telling this guy over the phone, so City Hunter and Sophie are gonna fight each other. That's perfect for the plan. And then they will fight, and that will happen, and that's good for us. Okay, bye.
And I will rule the world!
Well, the underworld, yes. That kind of energy. Like, he does a real quick evil laugh.
Well, I guess he would get his microfilm back.
Yeah.
I guess that's really, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's worth something to him. And at the same time, we see that Cowdy's been taken by Sophie to this cabin in the woods that looks like every other cabin we've ever been to in the woods.
Yeah.
By a lake.
And so they're having a big old fight over who cares more about their person that they care about, and how bad is it that they have died or have not died.
Because Sophie's like trying to get in Cowdy's face like, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to have the love of your life or somebody you care about deeply suddenly killed in front of you.
Bitch, you don't know me. You just met me.
You don't know my life. My brother.
Yeah, he's like the whole reason for this whole show.
Yeah,
his death is like the entire reason this is a thing.
And I love that they draw Sophie with a "oh shit for real" face. Like she's like, "Oh snap."
But then she doesn't really want to confront it, and she just hoofs it out the door and slams the door shut and leaves Cowrie all alone in her little cabin in the woods.
And I'm wrong. Here is where she has the flashback to the red flag conversation.
It's fine.
It's fine. It all goes together. So now the boss has landed at Haneda Airport, not Narita.
Yeah.
Because it says New Tokyo International Airport or something there.
Yes, and that's literally what the Haneda Airport says on the outside of it.
Meanwhile, Ryo's suiting up. You know, he's patching up with fresh bandages. He's got his jacket on, his 357 on his side. And he's looking at a picture of Makimura that he has by his bedside. And he's like, hey, wait up, bro. I'll be right there. So he does think he's gonna die.
Which is just so strange. Like, he's better than this. I don't know why he's so giving up right now.
Well, because the thing about it is, this episode and the previous one are trying to establish that Ryo's actually still torn up about Robart, like him having to shoot him.
Robart. But yeah, that's true. The last episode, he had all these flashbacks, like, all the memories of us getting into shit in New York, shooting at helicopters and fucking whatever the fuck is going on in downtown New York. And then the one time I had to murder him, man, that shit sucked. I'm trying to drink it all away, and I can't stop thinking about it. Damn. So he's sad about that. He's sad that Cowrie's been kidnapped, but Cowrie's been kidnapped before. This is not new. I don't know why he's acting like this is it. Maybe he's feeling, finally, I'm just an asshole. I guess I did kill somebody, and it made somebody really sad, and he actually genuinely feels bad about it, and he's just gonna give... Mind you, I'm having to, like, make that up.
Like he's having a real peacemaker moment right now, like, oh, maybe the problem is me. Maybe I'm the reason people die around me, kind of thing. But again, the reason that's weird is he's a sweeper.
Yeah.
He's used to that. And even then, we're only given the one previous two-parter with Robert anyway.
Right.
So there's only so much weight we can give that as the audience. So yeah, it's kind of hard to stomach.
But also, like, women just keep showing up from Robart's past. Like, this is the second woman from his past. There was another one who was his sweeper partner. We dealt with that lady. And then there's a completely different lady who's this lady. Sophie, who's his fiance. Like, Robart, what were you doing, man?
So
like,
Robart was also a player then. Because if he's got multiple...
we knew, like, his episodes focused on him being a player, for sure.
Yeah, and so, like, this is just, you know, the chickens coming home to roost for Robart.
And now, like, there's all these women literally gunning for Ryo's ass.
Right. And now, there's a bunch of women downstairs to see Ryo off, and it's every woman that we've seen in the main cast. We've got Sayako, we've got Reika, we've got Kasumi, we've got Miki.
And also Umibozu's there, and he's in his Jeep... Humvee, whatever.
No, it's just a Jeep.
It's not, we've had this discussion, it was like a Range Rover or some shit.
No, he's in his Jeep, and he tells Ryo, alright, get in, you're hurt, I don't want you dying on the way there, let's go. And Ryo's like, fine, I'll do what I want. And what I want is to sit in the passenger seat.
And die!
Well, yeah, because he still thinks he's gonna die.
He does think he's gonna die.
Like, they pull up to this base, and he's over here telling Umibozu, hey, do me a favor, water my plants, and take care of Cowdy, make sure she never needs anything in life. You will cover that, yes? Because I will be dead?
He's speaking very much in end-of-life terminology that typically, if your friend started talking this way, you would be very concerned. So he walks on up and, like...
Oh, I almost forgot. Like, when they're leaving, like, all the women are sending him off. Sayako is saying, well, you better not die, otherwise you won't get ye to pay off all this Mokkori.
Bitch, you were never gonna do that in the first place.
You never once paid off Mokkori. Not once. No, so now they're on this base. Guinness has a bunch of guys posted up on this in this alley where they are on this base.
Up on the roof.
And they're not even trying to hide very well. Like, Ryo can clearly see them.
Yeah, I don't know what they thought was going to happen.
But the stupid thing is, this is where Sophie told them to meet up, and Sophie doesn't know they're there.
God, I don't know.
So, like, Sophie's got Cowdy with her. Ryo pulls up and he's like, hey, just so you know, we need to, like, put a pin in this duel real quick because we got to deal with the roof. And she's like, what's wrong with the roof?
Well, just look up there. And then there's the Guinness guy with the weird face. And he's like, I see you're good enough to have found me. Yeah, man, we all knew.
We done been known. You're not hiding very well.
Well, I was just gonna let the two of you finish each other off, but, fine, I guess we'll all do the job right now. And out pop, like, a couple of dozen dudes with semi-automatic rifles all over the place.
And, you know, they want to start blasting, but someone has thrown a grenade at these guys.
Shabams! Umibozu did not go away. He's still there.
He's like, hey, I want party. And then everybody starts blasting.
Then Get Wild starts playing.
Yeah, thank God they remembered Get Wild.
Pretty good for the last episode, remembering Get Wild, which is really funny because as Get Wild is playing and the chorus is going and they've just said Get Wild and Tough, Ryo says a line that they have translated as, sounds like Umibozu's really getting wild over there.
And we're like, that was a choice.
Yeah, that's definitely a choice. They could have picked any other way of phrasing that sentence. That was deliberate. Because
and
that was not Japanese, okay? He didn't say, Umibozu wa geto wild. Like, that wasn't a thing that happened.
Sugoi wild. Yeah, like, nothing like that. Wild. Honey, why the... Okay, like, one person will get that if they hear that.
It's you. The answer is it's you.
The answer's me. No, so, like, they're all mowing down dudes. Sophie manages to mow down 4 guys. Umi takes out 9 guys while he's getting wild. Ryo takes out the 2 dudes that have been following them, Serrano and Chipotle or whatever the other guy's name was. And then 4 more dudes. And then he runs into Sophie on some stairs, and he's got the high ground on Sophie. Gun drawn.
And Sophie just feels like, I guess this is our duel, and she pulls out her gun in an attempt to shoot him. But if this had really been a duel, she would have lost very quickly, because Ryo has shot past her, grazing her, and actually he has hit one final dude that is still behind her. So, really, she's already lost. Like, they didn't even have a duel, and she already lost.
Right, okay? Because if anything, that, mind you, Ryo did call a truce, so he's honoring that. But that having been said, to me, that comes across as, I'm just letting you know, if we say game on again, it would be wise for you to take this into consideration and maybe say, nah, I forfeit, because clearly I've got the upper hand.
That's not what she does, but we'll come back to that. Because there's still one guy left, and that is the Guinness guy himself. And he's like, haha, I guess I'll do this myself. And Ryo's just like, no, you won't.
So, like, Cowdy's just walking around right now, just like, hello? Where is everybody?
It's a really stupid thing to do
like Cowdy,
in an active shooting situation.
And again, it's this thing of like, Cowdy, this isn't the first time this has happened to you. You should probably use the gun Ryo gave back to you. Either get in there or get out of there.
She does not do that, but Ryo is with her, thankfully. Because, yeah, he got shot at on his way back to her, and he drops his gun. So now he is gunless while he's looking at this Guinness guy walking up on him, being like, haha, I have you now. Ryo's like, no, you don't. And he grabs the gun that he gave to Kaori.
The snub nose.
Just square in between the eyes, right in the temple.
In the forehead.
Right in the forehead. And that guy somehow had the strength to say something like, Bakana. Like, there's no way. No, bro. Like, you're gone.
No, the back of your head's been blown out, yo. Like, it's over. You don't get to talk anymore. You don't have any more lines.
I mean, he literally doesn't after that. He's dead.
No, but I'm saying this isn't the first time in this show that somebody's been shot in the head and they still said something.
Right, I know.
Which, again, we give that conceit. It's a manga, it's an anime, fine. But in reality, you don't talk anymore.
No. Anyway, he's dead now, and for some reason, Sophie still feels like they got a duel. I don't know why. I feel like we've already proven that she would lose, okay?
Yeah, like she's over here like, hey, this picnic ain't over. We still got beef.
No, we don't. This is stupid.
And so, like, they set up for the duel. They're still in this alley. Umibozu's a witness, as happens several times in this anime. They wait for this, like, sign on the side for, like, this coffee thing, which, if you've been noticing the ending animation, the ending animation sequence has been referencing this scene.
Yeah,
or this whole episode.
This whole final episode. The ending sequence has been teasing the final episode of this season, the whole season.
But the sign finally tips over, it's that whole swordsman thing of waiting for something in nature to happen, some noise, so you can go ahead and draw. It hits the ground, Sophie draws, Ryo draws, but before any of them can get a shot off,
Kaori jumps in, steps in front of Ryo, and is like, no, don't shoot him. If you're gonna shoot anybody, shoot me, because if Ryo dies, then there's no reason for me to even be alive anymore. And there's this very dramatic love ballad that starts playing in the background, and Ryo's just like,
well, because it's this whole thing that thus far, I think this is as close as we've ever gotten from Kaori of a direct, what could be considered a declaration of love directed directly at Ryo.
Yeah, I mean, she's continuing on with, like, I just don't want to mourn anybody anymore. So it sort of has softened the declaration, but it doesn't take it away.
No, by no means. Because it's like, even though she invokes Makimura one more time, because they had that conversation, her and Sophie.
Right.
Still, though, Ryo hears it.
Yeah.
He gets it. And Sophie is now, like, breaking down, like, get out of the way. And she's like, no, I'm not moving. Sophie starts blasting, but she can't hit anything.
Well, it helps that her eyes are closed. So there's just kind of, if she ever hit anything, it would be literal dumb blind luck. Because she's just firing at nothing in particular. Just empties her entire gun, the whole barrel, just everything. And she was like, I knew I wouldn't be able to kill him anyway when I started this, but I thought if I just hated him enough, if I just hated Ryo enough, it was sort of like keeping ROBART alive.
Which, mind you, that's very toxic.
It's
if you
toxic,
do that.
but it is real. People do that kind of shit. It's awful. It's terrible, but it happens.
And then she finally, like, collapses on the ground, and she and Kaori hug it out.
And then they have to ship her away by boat.
Yeah, because now we're doing this thing again that's been consistent through this season. There's like 45 seconds left in this episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're shipping her off at the docks there at Yokohama by the big red buildings.
I want to make sure you understand. Sure, maybe she's going back to America. She's from New York. Is she gonna go back to New York? Because I feel like she's just taking the longest possible route.
We don't know where she's going. She could be going to Fiji. She could be going to Tahiti. We don't actually know.
We don't know. We don't have that information.
But the crazy thing is, like, as they're getting ready to ship her off, she's like, hey, I guess, Robert would feel better if you had the gun back, so I'm going to give it back. And it's like, well, you technically stole it last episode or whenever you got to the gun.
Yeah, you should probably give his property back. What about that microfilm?
Yeah, like, what's up with the microfilm now? Is it worth anything to anybody now? Like, all of Guinness's people are dead? Like, there's a power vacuum in America now. Thanks a lot, Ryo.
Yeah, I guess he did that. So, nice. A little bit less crime in this world. Thanks to Ryo.
I mean, yeah, good job, Ryo.
So then what's the microfilm for? Nobody knows. We'll never know.
Like, this isn't like some other episodes where they turn that over to Sayako. That doesn't happen.
That does not happen. And Sayako's there, by the way.
Everyone is here.
Sayako's there. Umibozu's there. Miki's there.
Reika's there, Kasumi's there.
And they're just watching this lady that they've never met get on a boat. These ladies have not met this person.
And she's like, okay, well, I gave the gun back, bye. And that's it. And then we have a conversation between Miki and Umibozu.
Miki says, Umibozu, don't you die on me, because I want us to die together. That's a strange conversation. And then Ryo and Kaori
don't say anything.
They walk away, and then the other several women are like, let's go out drinking.
And that's it. We get a freeze frame, and that is the end of City Hunter 3.
A little anticlimactic in the final scene, but I mean, at least it ends very City Hunter. Like, that's all I can really give it. Like, yeah, the freeze frame, the zoom out, the ending's music plays. We already got our Get Wild earlier in the episode. We're lucky we got Get Wild playing in this season at all.
True. That's always true. It's always a bonus when we get unexpected Get Wild.
So, to that extent, it's a fine enough ending to a season, I guess. And then, like, they didn't know they were going to get another season for a while, so...
Right, because after this, like, kind of getting ahead of ourselves, the next thing we're going to cover after City Hunter 3 is now going to be the movie City Hunter Bay City Wars.
God, it's such a good movie. We have not seen the dub, the old ADV dub.
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing the ADV dub.
It wasn't great. Back in the day, we did...
Back in the day.
Like, before we even decided to do all this. Because we flipped back and forth, you know, because we like to make that comparison.
Yeah.
And we'll probably do that again for this one. Because this is one of the ones that ADV did. They did a lot of the movies dubbed.
They did
with
pretty...
Joe Saiba.
With Joe Saiba. They did pretty much every single movie that had been released up to that point, dubbed it. And those were the first things that ADV released. And then when they were done with the movies, then they finally backtracked to the TV series, which was kind of a dumb release order, but fine.
And then they didn't dub that.
And they did not. No one has dubbed the TV series ever. Any season of City Hunter TV, no one has ever dubbed it.
Yeah, so as far as, like, dubs go, the only two people to ever dub Ryo are this guy who was Joe Saiba, and then Stephen Fu, who did the dub for Shinjuku Private Eyes.
And then it's always going to bum me out that Shout is the one that's got Angel Dust, because now there's just not an English dub. Like, Stephen Fu is not going to reprise that role, because now it's been released, and it does not have an English dub.
So now we're in this boat where it's like, we hope somewhere down the road it's a rescue for Discotheque, and they decide to pony up a little bit of money to get the band back together.
Right.
And eventually we get that dub, like, I don't know, 8 years down the line. I don't know how long that takes.
When Shout finally gives up that license.
Which, you know, I hope they do. They've got other things to worry about.
They got some tokusatsu to be worried about right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's that. That's what we're excited about next. Bay City Wars. It's short, for one thing. It's such a good short movie.
It's mostly action.
Mostly action, and clearly inspired by a lot of Hollywood action films. So plainly.
Which, in that regard, it's a lot like early City Hunter was, where you could see the homages there. To me, it's like, it's Commando, or Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando by way of City Hunter.
Right. So that's what we've got coming up next, and I don't think there's much of anything left of City Hunter 3 to discuss, because I think City Hunter 3 is one of the weaker seasons
if we're to be
of
honest
City
about
Hunter
it.
TV. Yeah. There's parts of City Hunter 91 that I like, but I think you are not super into City Hunter 91.
I think I'm harder on this season, actually, than I am 91,
Really?
if I remember correctly.
I know you don't like City Hunter 91's opening.
I don't like either of these openings, to be honest.
Oh, I like this one the least for City Hunter 3 because, like, what is up with that vocalist? We've complained about it numerous times. That I don't understand.
Yeah, well, at least now we don't have to see the blackface anymore.
Never forget that there's that blackface poster in the background.
And the thing about the next opening is, like, it's not my favorite. I don't outright hate it, but it is It's
so anime.
It's so anime.
It's just like, if you're gonna listen to the song, and if you didn't know it was City Hunter, you'd be like, oh, what anime is that? And you just know, like, it's some peppy...
It's too peppy for what it is.
I like it. I think it's a good
But if I remember
opening.
correctly, City Hunter 91, I like more, if not solely for the fact that they give him back his blue jacket.
Yeah, thank Christ.
Yeah, because I didn't know I was going to miss that jacket so much.
I know City Hunter 3 really tried to be like, but what if we did it a little closer to what the manga looks like? No, bitch, the anime is different now.
Yeah.
We've established anime Ryo, blue jacket Ryo. We got to do this Lupin style. Difference between white jacket Ryo and blue jacket Ryo. These are two different guys.
Well,
okay?
no. I think what ends up happening in 91, if I'm not mistaken, is we get the more manga accurate green jacket, the CrossFit one.
CrossFit one?
Well, not you know, it's like double-breasted or kind of. It's more like what he wears in the manga and what he wears in the Netflix movie.
We'll get there in a couple more episodes, so.
But because of that, I'm cooler with it.
Okay.
But yeah, we have that to look forward to after we're done with Bay City Wars, and I think after Bay City Wars is what, $1 Million Conspiracy?
Yes, so we've got a couple of these OVA films coming up first before we get to City Hunter 91, and then also, God, Savior of the Soul is a thing!
We're really gonna do Savior of the Soul?
We need to watch it for ourselves first, and then come to a decision, because holy shit. The clips that I've seen of Savior of the Soul are just like, I understand, apparently you've pulled some things from the plot of City Hunter. This sure doesn't look like it. And then after that is finally Jackie Chan City Hunter.
Yeah, the two
eventually
episodes that I've been hoping/dreading when we get to them. It's Jackie Chan, and when we eventually get to the French live-action movie.
Well, that's the hope.
That's the hope.
But that's still a long ways away because that's so relatively recent in comparison to.
Well, yeah, because we have to get through all the OVAs.
Yeah.
We have to get through a whole season of the anime, the last season.
Yeah.
For now. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And then we got to get through Savior of the Soul. We got to get through Mr. Mumble. We got to get through Jackie Chan. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Shinjuku Private Eyes beats it by like a week.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because they were released
the same year.
I think they were in the same month, if I'm not mistaken.
I remember on that Blu-ray for Shinjuku Private Eyes, there's an interview with, like, the director of the anime film. And he is like, oh, yeah, we were excited because it was coming out at, like, the same time as the French film. And like
they did a lot of cross-promotion
They did at that time. So that'll be exciting to talk about. Really, in the grand scheme of things, all of these things are only a few episodes apart from each other. I'm very excited about that.
Yes, future us is happy to be talking about that. Present me is happy we're done with City Hunter 3.
Yeah. So come back next time when we cover the OVA film Bay City Wars.
And if you want to catch us outside this podcast, you can always find us both over on Blue Sky. I'm at JoshKnightFirst.bsky.social.
And I'm at MarzGurl.com. Thank you all so much for listening to our 130th episode of MokkoriPlay. And if you don't come back next episode, I'm making Josh dodge a bunch of explosions.
But Kaylin, you know I'm already into Tokusatsu. I already practiced dodging explosions to begin with.
Great, then you're ready.
Okay, commence explosion dodging. Oh, that hurt.